Happy Friday, everyone. So, in today's trade, I'm going to be going over HLBZ. And so, I didn't get to record this as soon as I got into the trade. I was kind of in a different room doing some other stuff. So, I had to come back to the computer and try to reanalyze that on the computer and determine where my risk level was. So, I got to it right when that first pop was happening. So I bought in at 1847. My original risk was right around this area, was at 16. I can see this nice uptrending chart. When I started pulling back, it didn't actually reach my sell target, so I was risking about 10% on this trade. And so it kind of popped up. There was a little bit of concern whether or not the trade was going to work, if I was going to take a 10% loss on this. Now I did give it a wider range because of how much movement the stock was actually trading. You can see kind of here was at $20 and all of a sudden dropped down to $8, so or $18. So it's pretty much a $2 move right there. Because it kind of recognized the volatility of this particular pattern and this particular chart, I gave it a little bit wider risk for the chart to move to work out. So in a little bit here, I'll be placing my bracket orders onto the trade. Now this recording is split up by 200 times to reduce a 35-40 minute trade down to about 17 minutes. The sell target that I was looking at this on the long-term time frame, there's resistance at 25. So I was thinking that 25 may still hold the resistance from previously. And right there, I ended up putting the bracket orders. So I do end up putting the bracket orders pretty much in the same spot that I was looking at the risk. Instead of 16, I just moved it up around the 16, 50 something. Then it's like 1610 or 1615 or something like that. And so the chart had a nice clean breakout over 18, which is right here. And when it came back down, it just pretty much bounced off of the breakout level. Some people will actually consider the 19s as a breakout because it's over here. But because it kind of went through 18, pulled back, went through 18 again, pulled back, consolidated around 18 over and under, and failed. I'm considering 18 as the breakout level on this trade. And at this point, what I'm thinking is that my risk is a little bit too low. I may end up want to move my risk up to just under these candles right here to try to reduce it to about 7%, 6 or 7%, in case the chart does actually fail. One of the reasons why I do think this chart may have a pretty decent chance of failure is the gap up. You can see here where it closed around the $8 range, gapped up into like the 15, 16s, and that's actually a pretty big gap. So I was kind of concerned whether or not that was, it was going to be a good gap and crack reversal type of a pattern. And this is what I was talking about, how the 25-30s was acting as resistance. So right here, I do have it set up for a 40% profit based off the data I was looking at. My sell target should be between, on average, between 30 to 35, 40%. It's kind of on the higher range. It's potential that I can get to 40% of this stock, but try and play a little bit more cautious. It is already up quite a bit on the day. You can see it's up 117% right up here. And because it's already up quite a bit, it is a Friday. A lot of the times Friday action is pretty slow until later on the day. And because of that reason, I wanted to play a little bit more conservative and try to go in between the high and the, just kind of close to the high range of where I was looking at. So I ended up going for 35%. And a little bit, I'm going to be reducing the sell target down to just under 25. So it'd be 24.93 would be my sell target. And that's still 34.98 or 35%. Another trade that I did take today was RINT/WS. That's more of a swing trade type of idea. Again, I think it may have a red to green today later on. But since it's such a slow moving stock, I didn't want to record that one just because it could be going all day long for a few cents difference, and there's a lot more volume coming into IRNT because it's following what IRNT's pattern is doing. It may not actually get enough volume today and may even hit my risk level. My risk level on that one is the failure of 750. I think if it breaks down below 750, there's a possibility that the trend will be coming down. Right there, we do get a nice push through 20s. Let's see if we can keep going up to 21. So right now, I'm just letting the trade work. As far as the risk level and where my profits are, there is a little bit of concern because I'm starting to get back into the swing of using my system, using the bracket orders, and trading based off of the way that I developed it. There's still a little bit of fear as far as am I looking for too much of a profit, especially during some of these big pullbacks. I start to worry whether or not I made the right decision on holding through some of these downward trends. Now, over time, that feeling of am I making the right choice as far as where my sell target is at will eventually melt away. It doesn't happen, sometimes when I'm coming off a losing streak of where I have to really get used to using the bracket order, really get used to using the data and the system. As far as why HLBZ is running, I honestly don't know. I don't really trade the news. The news for me is more of a marketing tool for people to come in and buy the stock. I just base it purely off the technical analysis, volume, and price action. And for me, this stock was the cleanest one that I could see in the market today. And because it was the cleanest price action as well as the good volume, that's why I decided to take it. Good to push up through the 22s. Now looks like we're going to be testing the 23s. There we go, 23.45 is the high. So this is a really nice uptrending clean chart. This is the point of where I'm, kind of debating whether or not that 40% that I'm originally aiming for is a little bit too high, and thinking that I should probably stick with the regular probabilities within the strategy. This stock isn't a very clean ABCD pattern. There is that nice morning push, pulls back, makes a lower high. And then when it starts to come back to the low VWAP, it creates another higher, lower high right here. And that's kind of where I'm kind of risking off of. Right there, all I did is just take another screenshot, post on Twitter. So right there, I did end up moving my sell price down. As you can see, it's now below 25. So I have it at 24.93. So at this point, I'm also writing my trading workbook, notating any sort of feelings or fears that I'm having in the market. At this point, because it got up to 23.95, looks like there's a little bit of consolidation right there. I'm kind of wondering if that's the top. 23.95 would actually be around a 30% price target, and that's normally what I would be aiming for at this current market conditions with the bracket orders. So 24 was the high, that prepped that at 29.94, so just shy of 30%. And so with that, I was a little bit worried whether or not it was actually going to work out. And it did kind of break, push through 24.34s and pulls back under. So at this point, I'm still thinking, well, maybe that 35% that I was looking for at 24.93 is kind of an unrealistic kind of expectation of the market, especially the market conditions we're in today. But with me being a mechanical trader, I decided I'm just gonna hold. I moved up my risk, and I'm okay losing a little bit of money if this trade doesn't work. I still think it can potentially retest that 25 level, and so that's what I'm waiting to see if I was right on the trade and kind of just be patient on it. So now we're starting to have another pullback around the 22s. Um, Starting to wonder if this 22 level is going to hold its support. There's no previous support at this level, so it needs to try to maintain some sort of support. I mean, it ran from mid 17s all the way up to around the 24s with only one pullback, pretty much from the mid 18s all the way up to 24. So there's bound to have a little bit of pullback, a little bit of consolidation before it continues pushing up. Now, if this chart does actually start to come all the way back down and get me stopped out for a small loss, I do accept that. It's part of trading to have, the stocks that just don't work out. And the trading strategy that I do, it's mostly kind of an all or none type of a thing. I do sometimes will scale out of a trade, especially if I'm aiming for a higher percent, such as 30 to 40%. I'll probably take half off around mid-level. The reason why I'm not on this particular trade is because of how many shares I have. I only have 6 shares. And again, the reason why I'm trading this at such small size is to get back into the habit of using this strategy before I start to size up as far as using more share size or dollar amount. That way, the risk that I'm risking is significantly smaller. And even with 6 shares, you can see that the profit that I'm getting isn't too bad for a 6 share trade. We're starting to try to retest that 24s, and it's kind of struggling at this point. Pulls back down to 23. This kind of consolidation I'm looking for is to see if there's going to be another formation of a higher low around this area and kind of have that upwards trend, curling type of an action. The time frame is pretty good. It's still early enough in the morning that there's a lot of volume coming in. The one thing I am notating is the dying volume again down here. And is even if there's dying volume, if there's enough buyers versus sellers, then the stock can potentially still run up. So I don't really pay too much attention to the volume as far as if the volume is actually starting to die, as long as the price action and the price that's I'm looking at is still confirming the trend and confirming the direction of the move. Some people's asked about the time and sales tape. I don't really use this as a gauge to determine the direction of the stock or even where things are doing. What I do actually look for in the time and sales tape is when it pretty much turns all red or all green. I mean, there's a wall of sellers or a wall of buyers at that level. And I don't really determine that based off, or I don't really use that to determine the direction of the trade. I still just work off the probabilities. There may be a wall of sellers or wall of buyers at specific key levels. But if there's enough wall of buyers, it may actually tell me what direction it is. So right there, I just got out. So I took the 35%, ended up taking a screenshot, and that's pretty much it for this trade. And have a good weekend, and we'll see you next time.